So good to be back in front of people like you. But I feel different, because this is usually the place where I give you the old, hey, you're with great people, you're going to get better because you're hanging around with good people and you're going to learn from them. But I think there's a bigger lesson and a message that I'm going to ask you to take with you today. And I have something I'm going to read to you, actually. I'm not just going to speak to you. It's from a book that I read that, quite frankly, was not my favorite book. But the first page of this book really is something I keep going back to almost on a weekly basis. And I think hopefully you'll understand why in a minute. Because we've been through a lot. But I hear people talking about tests and all kinds of letters, the PCR test, this test, that test. But if you have perseverance, courage, and resilience, you can get through anything. You're sitting with people. You're sitting with adults who have shown perseverance, courage, and resilience, and they are very successful at what they do. And they care enough to come here and give back to you. Here's the book. First line of a self-help encouraging book is, life is difficult. I read that line and I said, I'm going to put this book down. Life is difficult, why should I read it? This is the great truth, one of the greatest truths there is. It is a great truth because once we truly see this, we transcend it. Once we truly know that life is difficult and things that are worth it, we have to earn them. We no longer find life difficult because once it's accepted, the fact that life is difficult no longer matters. Most do not fully see this truth, that life is difficult. Instead, they moan more or less incessantly, noisily, subtly, about the enormity of their problems, their burdens, their difficulties, as if life should be easy, as if life should not present challenges to test you. They voice their belief, noisily, subtly, that their difficulties represent a unique kind of affliction thrust upon them that should not have happened, and that should somehow has been especially visited upon them, or else upon their families, their tribe, their class, their nation, their race, or even their species. And it only happens to them, not others, the difficulties. Everybody else's life is easy. I've heard the moaning because I've done my share. Life is a series of problems, whether you want to accept it or not. Life is a series of challenges. Do we want to teach? Do we want to moan about these problems? Or do we want to solve them? Do we want to teach our children to solve them? Or do we want to teach our children to moan? Discipline is the basic set of tools we require to solve life's problems. Without discipline, we can solve nothing. And I'm going to give you a personal example of discipline. I weighed 210 pounds in high school. I weigh 225 pounds now. I've been dying to weigh 210 pounds for the last 30 years. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is really about choices. If I could choose not to go to the refrigerator at night, like I did last night, and eat the cookie dough out of the tub that my wife is going to use to make cookies today, I could reach my goal. Discipline is you wake up every day and you have choices to make. You'll see something that you want and you know you shouldn't do it, but it's easy and you do it anyway. It was so easy for me to pick up that spoon last night, and God did I love it, but it's not good for me. It would have been much harder for me to put that spoon down and just go back to bed. It's choices that we make that define who we are. And the older I get, the more I realize how important it is for young people like you to be around good people like this, at events like this. Because the joy in life is surrounding yourself with good people, rolling up your sleeves and going to work. EI Pride is about doing the right thing. Can you make the right choice? Can you make the sacrifices you need to reach the goals that you reach? Celebrate reaching the goal and then set another goal. This is a great place to start. You are sitting at tables with people who are very successful in their field. It's been a heck of a year. But why do we continue to moan about it? Why don't we start to realize that not only did you have the perseverance, the courage, and the resiliency to get through it, you are now stronger for that. You have pushed yourselves to limits that you did not think you could reach. And now it's time to get back to normal. Slowly, together, carefully, healthily, I guess. You know what I'm trying to say. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd be lying if I told you it was easy. But when it's easy, it's not fun. When it's easy, you don't learn. And when it's easy, you don't really appreciate it. So please, leave here today taking from the people you sat with their perseverance, their courage and resiliency, not just during COVID, but for their entire life. Listen to their stories. Listen to the path they took. Listen carefully to the answers they give you to the questions you ask. Because guess what? There's nothing better than living. There's nothing better than life. There's nothing better than enjoying what you do. And you know what? This is what really makes me happy. So, learn from the people you're sitting with, learn from each other, and remember, you have the perseverance, the courage, and the resilience to get through anything. Because we just made it through a year like we've never seen. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great breakfast. Thank you very much.
Thank you, administration. We have many administrators present here today, actually. We have Director of Guidance Technology, Mr. Stanton, over here. We have Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Harrison. I don't know where. There we are, over there. He's supporting us as well. We have Assistant Principal, Mr. Seidman here. We have Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Bells here. And it just shows you that they are really here and supportive of our programs. Every single administrator is part of our school business partnership, and they agree that programs like this work. This helps you get to the next stage. We have even many alumni that are here today that went from being in your chair students, now they're on the other side, and they're the professionals, actually, that are sitting at the tables. Mrs. Cirillo is here, she's alumni as well. I actually have Mr. Simplani, I don't know what table, I'll turn it around. There we go, alumni here. Where's Veronica Pasha? Is she here yet? Virtual. Oh, she's virtual, she's on the computer. So we have many, many alumni. This is just a few I'm naming off the top of my head that are here, that have been in your shoes, and now they're doing the career that they actually learned about while at a program like this. So I just want to thank all of them for always being so supportive and letting EI Pride come through, because I myself am an alumni and know that these programs work because I sat in your seat too. I'd like to call Mr. McHugh, who is my counterpart here. We are definitely double trouble when it comes to ideas like this. We get an idea in our head, the partnership says let's do it, and we run with it. We actually have a program going to happen in the elementary school this coming month. We're having the Suffolk County Farm go into the classroom virtually for each of the grades, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, on up, all the elementary. So we're being creative during this time. Whether you are in kindergarten, we have a program for you, or you guys who have one foot out the door and looking to go into a career. So thank you all for this breakfast and doing the job you're going to do.
Today, yeah, it's not October in the coffee pub, but it's spring. And spring represents a new beginning. Again, look outside. The blossoms are coming, the flowers are out there, and we are now at the end phase, hopefully, of this pandemic. And we're all going to be faced with a new way of life and a brand new beginning. The question is, what will you do with your new beginning? I've been part of a business partnership now for many, many years, almost from the beginning of my career. And wow, what an incredible and life-changing event this group is. It makes me want to go to work, it makes me want to grow, it makes me want to keep doing everything. I mentioned flexibility is one of the biggest assets of my job. It is. It's allowed me to be very active in the schools, as my son is now going through his types of school life. I've been an active part of the PTA community and working with the schools, mentoring students as to what they want to do. I've had a few students come and I've worked with them through the Mentor Me program. And you do have some setbacks in life, but you must go on, and you'll all have your entire life ahead of you and attack life's challenges that we have. Opportunity and new beginning, we all learned so much in the past year. Beyond each of you have untapped resources within us, waiting to be discovered and utilized. I always get to choose and manage whatever staff I have in my office. I manage the time, how I use my days, and what I do with it, which is an excellent thing about an entrepreneurial opportunity. You control your own destiny.
So this is another great event. So thankful to East Islip Schools for continuing this tradition. This is, I don't know, I've been here every year for the past several years, and it's a wonderful opportunity for the students to interact with professionals in a career area of their interest, so that they can sort of get an idea of what a career might be like if they pursue what they're thinking they might pursue. And sometimes they get an idea what they don't want to do by talking to professionals. So it's great for me to share, and I love learning about what kids these days, what young men and young women are interested in, and trying to impart some of my experiences with them, and hopefully that helps them make some decisions.